And we're live.
Wonderful. For the final time this season, perhaps ever.
Well, we don't have Rob with us to keep this canceled.
Ah, true. Yeah. So we at least get a second chance legally. Whether people will give us a second chance literally, we'll see.
And I'm back with some bubbly Dr. Pepper. So you get to listen to me burping in the microphone again.
Oh, that'll be good.
When did
Better than,
when
150 decibel F bombs to start the stream, but
when Pig jump up to third?
he finally figured it out.
Mm-hmm. Or not?
He was languishing for a bit there. Maybe he just
Yeah,
wasn't able to get something put together.
maybe.
It's going to be close. Still got 3 rookies in the top 10.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Turkey, 1.3 seconds down from Alarcon. It's not going to help his championship result.
Right.
We need that to reverse in the race if he's going to have a hope.
Give us a reason besides making fun of him to watch him.
Yeah, true. Am I still allowed to make fun of him now?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, good. Yeah. I find it hard not to when I'm watching him. It's just my natural state. Saba and Menezes are both already battling at the top.
Yeah. Saba already in the pits. What's Adrian doing? He stopped the track. Oh, he's back to the pits.
Well, I might as well do my intro now so that we can get started watching qualifying, because some of these qualifying spots might be pretty big.
Right.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're watching tonight. I'm Sid Viscus, joined tonight by Tokyo Dave, and welcome along to the final round of the Lamborghini Yuletide Rush, presented by ARL Sim Racing in association with Tamiya Racing Factory, coming to you from one of the most famous tracks in the world, Silverstone. Built on the grounds of a former RAF airfield, this track has been a permanent fixture in motorsport since 1948, featuring some of the most famous corners in the world. Names like Copse, Woodcote, Stowe, and the complex of Maggots and Becketts have become synonymous with both great racing and high drama. 18 corners on this clockwise circuit, 10 to the right and 8 to the left, with a negligible elevation change being an old airfield and all. With me tonight to call this race, as mentioned, is Tokyo Dave. Going into this race, there are close battles tonight for class victory. Menezes is only 7 points back of Saba for the pro class, while our friend Turkey only trails by 2 points to Alarcon in the AM category, with Silver class having a more commanding 11-point lead by White over Perot. Do you have any early predictions for this one, Dave?
I wish I did. I'd like to see Turkey pull out that victory tonight. The gold class is going to be tight. I believe in practice they were only separated by a few tenths.
Yeah, those two have been tooth and nail all season.
Yeah. Qualifying is going to play a huge role tonight.
And the fastest lap could be a spoiler. 2 points for the fastest lap. So whatever we see on track for fast laps, we have to, keep in the back of our mind for how it's going to score at the end.
Mm-hmm.
You're already battling to get track position.
A little wide.
Yeah, Roman not giving up anything there. Car 11 stopped on track. That is Rodriguez. So, wonder what that was about.
Mm-hmm. Looks like he's still hanging in the pits.
Maybe he was just burning some fuel, or maybe he had too much fuel.
Maybe.
They should be starting laps fairly soon here. It's a long circuit. Like I said, 18 corners. Takes a while to get around, especially in the GT cars. Just starting their first lap now. See White going through Maggots and Beckett's. Fun series of corners.
Turkey not far behind them. Oh,
Oh, whoa.
good catch, Turkey.
That's not going to... Yeah. It's not going to be the best way to take that series of corners.
Right. Let's see how it worked out for him.
Just behind him is Pig, Kevin Correa. Still in the pits is Rodriguez. And 27 Turkey. Just going to be about halfway through the lap now. White going off track a little bit. Be surprised if that lap counts. Should get our first series of times in here now. Still a lot of running to do, and a lot of drivers will still pit again, but we'll at least get our first look at the qualifying pace. 59 for Saba. 1.3 seconds back. That's pretty nice lap for the rookie.
Respectable. See how Turkey holds up.
Oh, 3.6 seconds. Yeah, that's a result of all the sliding.
That's going to be tough.
At least you'll have heat in the tires. Driving sideways on them, we'll do that.
Right.
No laps in for Adrian yet. Where's he at on track? And as is just coming down Hamilton Straight, I think, into Abbey. See how he does in his last series of corners here.
See if he can take that P1.
Yeah, this exit of that turn, because this is a flat out corner onto the Wellington Straight, that is a important corner. Long straight, and then you get a good series of corners to try to make a move here. Depending on where you put your car, it's easy to fight back, but it's a fun series of corners. Let's see where he's at crossing the line for his first lap. 1:59.572 is the quickest on track at the moment. 1.2 back. And
it's him up there with Pig.
It looks like Saba has returned to the pits and is just coming out for his next series of laps. The strategy here is always to fuel low, do a couple laps on fresh tires, and then pit again with low fuel again, go out with fresh tires.
Right.
Usually we're talking through this part, you know. So we don't get to talk about quali strategy very often. Looks like Turkey's also been off track on the Wellington Straight.
Let's go to
Oh,
Mr.
he's
Turkey.
just jumping around. I think he might have been glitching a little bit.
Back to the pits.
I saw him go to what looked like a couple places on the map in a series of a few seconds. So there's his fresh boots and a small amount of fuel, and he'll probably be coming back out here. Did we finally get Rodriguez on track? We did. Just starting a lap now, it looks like. One of the only drivers to not post a lap yet. The problem with leaving it late is you put a lot of pressure on yourself.
Right.
You don't get, one of those laps in the 2 or 3 that you have. That's tough.
Yeah,
And it almost like breeds mistakes because you're thinking about like I have to do well here, and then if you don't do well the first time, you're like, well, I'm totally screwed if I don't do well this time.
Yeah. Just send it.
I'm horrible at qualifying. It's probably my biggest weakness when it comes to a race weekend. I'm really not good at it.
I could do okay in qualifying. It's the rest of the race that gets me.
Yeah, I tend to qualify poorly and make my way up after that. It's just the pressure of doing a perfect lap.
Yeah.
And like I'm by nature more of a safe driver, so I find it hard to be on the limit. I'm always kind of afraid of it.
I'll qualify like close to the front and then lose several positions in T1 because I'm way too nice.
That's it. We're opposites in that respect. That's why we usually come together on track. I've qualified poorly and made up a couple positions, and you qualified extremely well and lost a couple, and we meet in the middle.
Right.
And a little loose for Rod through there.
You saw that.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't affect his time too much.
What I love about this track is that there's a series of these like really technical low speed areas, and it's really hard to maintain your throttle. It's like, just a slight touch more than the car can take, and you're starting to, do what we've seen Turkey or Rod do, which is get a little bit loose, and you're losing time. Looks like Zuniga might have gone off the side, but I think he's just going in to start another series of laps. It always yellow flags them, so I'm always looking to see if they collect more cars or if they're just going back to the pits. Menezes is going to have to get on it here. He's just coming around now to finish a lap, but 1.2 seconds back is not where he should be. Like you said, in practice we saw him only a few tenths off.
Right. Improvement. Oh, 3/10.
Up to that's a good lap.
Yep. 59.8, I would say.
Yep, 59.8, 8.87.
Yep.
I'm wondering if he's going to pull off and pit, or if he's going to try to do another full lap. Lamb King, a little slow onto the straight there. That'll be frustrating. Which one's better, Maggots and Beckett's or the Suzuka S's?
Well, I've never driven Silverstone, so
No, you haven't?
no.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Maybe like way back in the day on like what was it, PS1? There was the touring car game, the Codemasters.
Oh yeah.
The Toka 2, whatever the hell it was. So, what's that, like 30 years ago?
Yeah, that's a while ago now. Yeah, that's surprising. I drove this circuit a lot on the F1 games before I played Gran Turismo.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it's one of the ones a lot of people choose. A lot of Brits in the game. And Silverstone is like, the British track. Right. Arguably, of course, but holds both the Formula One round and the MotoGP round in Britain.
I'm a Brands Hatch guy myself.
See, I didn't drive Brands Hatch a lot until I got Gran Turismo. And even then, it's not one I would pick.
No?
No.
It's a good flow to it.
It's a fun, like, kind of roller coaster track to drive. And, I mean, we saw it in the first round of this series.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun track to drive, but the racing doesn't tend to be the best because there isn't a ton of overtaking opportunity. And the track is super narrow.
Yeah.
So depending on the width of the car you're driving, it can be near impossible.
The Super Formulas race we did there was a lot of fun.
Yeah, turn 1 is also one of the most annoying corners. The blind right-hander where it drops
Downhill.
away.
Yeah.
You know.
A lot of sand trap time.
Yeah. It's like that run from turn 1 into turn 2 is probably one of the most fun ones to hook up in any track.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. But when it comes to the actual racing, I think I forget which race it was, but there was one time in ARL history where I held up faster drivers for like half a race. Just like they were way faster than me, but it's so narrow, and you can just kind of park it. And I think it was frustrating Pig. I think it was for a little bit. He was trying everything he could to get around me, but then, it was all fair, But even when someone gets a run on you, you can just kind of squeeze them towards the edge, and
hold
I mean,
the center
there's
line.
not really not really anywhere else to go there. So.
Would you say this track is similar as far as getting passes done?
A little bit better, just because of the length of straight that you have.
Right.
So you have more space. First of all, it's a very wide track, and you have a lot of extended straights that go into very tight corners, which tends to be the best spot to pull an overtake. Like your 130Rs, while they're like one of the most fun corners in the world, are not going to be your overtaking opportunity generally, right? And that's why Max Verstappen got all the accolades for the overtake of Blanchimont at Spa. Just a flat-out left-hander that is near impossible to get by, but car positioning, and he did it. The reason that, Alonso's move at 130R, that kind of stuff, go down in history is because they're so hard to overtake at. Whereas, here, I mean, that run out of, I think it's Stowe, the right-hander at the end of the back straight, fast right-hander, but then immediately after that you get that tight chicane. So if you can get alongside in the fast right-hander, you got that chicane. And then Wellington straight down into Brooklands and Luffields right before where the finish line is, that's a great spot for overtaking.
Oh, okay.
And again, it's wide enough that you can fight it. So you tend to get a lot of good battles here, more so than some other tracks. So qualifying's now over, and an important loss, it looks like, for Menezes. That's going to make it tough. And how did our other contenders do? Alarcon up,
fifth.
Just 3 spots in class, but 5th to 10th, a second faster.
Yep.
So that'll be an interesting one to watch.
Yeah. See how Adrian finishes his lap.
And then, like we said before the broadcast, I don't think we were on when we talked about it, but Perot, 11 points behind White, and at the moment, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots ahead? So if Perot can pull this out, you never know. He kind of got in his own way last week at Imola.
Right.
I think we called it on the broadcast that he was maybe taken out, but then after, I guess he
went wide.
Yeah, he had mentioned that he had made some mistakes, I think, which, it's hard to call when you're outside the car, but fair enough. Some putting the onus on himself. But that could have made the series a lot closer. But if he has a finish like he's done in qualifying in the race, then, I mean, that might be the championship.
Right. There's our starting grid. Zaba, Adrian, Correa, Ciclo, Alarcion, Perot, Rodriguez, Peppers, Galliano, Turkey, Roman, Zuniga, Walker, White, Reynolds, Kahn, Watson, Spector, Stevens, Zerline, Carabello, Mann, Dinosoro, Bagara, and Lamb King.
I think Mann in the number 7 car and Galliano in the 77 are both new drivers. We don't have them on our spotter's guide, so they must have just showed up for this one. And what a race to show up to.
Yeah.
May throw a wrench in a finale for
Right.
a driver. It's always tough making your debut in the last race of a series because you're like, I could decide championships with my inability to operate in this league. Not saying that that'll happen to them or that they have an
Right.
inability, but it's definitely an entertaining prospect to join a race series for the last race.
Turkey, 10th. He's got to be kicking himself.
Yeah. He was a little further back than that, though, I think, in practice. So, I mean, this is again, it's a long track. There's a lot of corners. It's a test for the drivers. Um, you know, any longer track, your Bathursts, obviously like your Nürburgrings, are tough on the drivers because they have to remember so many different corners. Um, in a lot of the tracks we've had this season, we've operated between 10 and 15 corners to memorize, and now you have 18, which is, I mean, it doesn't seem like much, but it's a lot.
Right.
It's sort of the mental processes that are going around or going on behind the scenes in the drivers' heads. Every braking point, every turn-in point, every apex, and while worrying about cars around you. So, a few more corners, a little more excitement, a little more difficult to memorize.
Well, let's see how that works out for him. Looks like Saba's got it memorized.
I think he's been.
As well as Adrian.
He, they've been red hot from the start.
Right.
We've seen some great battles up front in this series. And behind the scenes, a lot of drama in the steward's office.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure they're teammates.
They are.
So, a lot of acrimony, some fouls cried here and there. So interesting. Like, you don't usually see rivalries like that within a
Right.
team. Like, it's like Prost and Senna, these two, Alonso Hamilton, just we'll see if there's any more tonight because, I mean, it's a championship deciding race. You think either, they dial it up to 11 and bring the antics to the extreme, or maybe they just, try to keep it level headed.
Yeah.
We'll have to see because I think we're in for one either way. And the way they've driven, I think odds on favorite would be one of those two. If I don't bet on things, but if I was a betting man, I would finish or vote for those two for a top 2 finish. What order? I don't know, but I don't think anyone has the pace to bring it to them.
Maybe
Especially with Maloof not here too.
Off. He was only 8/10 off the pace. He can stay clean.
If that's like every lap though.
I know
that's
up.
By the end of the race. That's a lot of laps and a lot of time lost. And I guess Maloof took the last race off or couldn't make it.
Yeah, I don't know what the reason was.
So those three were kind of right in there fighting for 1, 2, 3 every race.
Maloof was probably just more excited to watch the broadcast and actually race.
I've heard that it's hard to race in this series because the broadcasts are so good that the drivers they want to all just watch the broadcast. But
Right.
unfortunately, watching Silverstone with no cars on it for an hour might not be the most exciting
That's
time.
thing.
So Anthony, the race director, had to entice people to actually continue to race instead of just watching us, which is what
Right.
they really want to do.
I mean, we're the real draw here.
Yeah, the most exciting part of this series, you know, championships included, is watching us fumble our way through 6 races broadcasting.
I,
Well, us and Rod,
yeah,
one Rodcast.
I'm a little disappointed we didn't have him for a second broadcast tonight.
Yeah, he got roped into it because his team is only trailing the Maple Boys by 2 points, and they wanted to get him in.
And only one Maple Boy showed up, right?
Yeah, and only one of, I guess, SBS Racing is their name because Kevin Correa is not here.
Oh, okay.
So no Little Pig. Little Pig, one of my teammates at the Daytona 24-hour on iRacing this weekend.
Oh, is he?
So maybe he
Cool.
was a little burnt out.
It's possible from iRacing practice.
Yeah, and third place runner Kevin Correa, and series organizer Anthony White, and Joe Zaniga were the other guys in the team.
How'd you guys finish?
We won the race.
Proud of you.
Yeah, I think one of the lower splits because we got a lot of newer guys, and
Right.
I mean I don't run iRacing enough to have a massively impressive number next to my name. I usually just hop on for the endurance races, which doesn't meet the criteria for advancement for the level of license that I have. So I end up kind of just putting along around the same rating all the time. And we had 3 guys that were relatively new. So Correa raced with me. Little Pig was with us last year at Bathurst when I finished third with him and X11, Kinetic X11, and Ben Maloof was in the car. So he's been around for just about a year now, and then Zaniga and White were both grinding to get their licenses up to the minimum to be in the race at all throughout the weeks before the race. So we were pretty lower level rated. And then Kevin's super fast. He's been around iRacing for a while.
Right.
But yeah, it was fun. We high drama. We were leading the race by 3 laps with 40 minutes to go, and we got taken out on a unsafe rejoin by a back marker. We got close to 10 minutes of damage. It was like 7 mandatory fix, 3 minutes optional, or 2 minutes optional, something around there. And the car behind us and the car behind them both caught up, so all 3 leaders were on the same lap by the time we came out of the pits, but we were in second and like half a lap back of the car in front, and they were just cruising.
Right.
They ended up getting wrecked.
Well.
So we ended up taking first back and finished 8 seconds ahead of the car that finished second. So it was very close after 24 hours.
Right. Who took out the car in front?
Some GTP, or maybe it was like a mistake of theirs. It's hard to tell because like their feed glitched out, so it was hard to see exactly what they did. But they were driving like way too cautious. When you're trying to bring a race home and you kind of take your foot off the gas, so to speak, and other, like it leads to more incidents almost, especially when you're racing with faster classes, because they're like, what's this guy doing? He's parked. He's going so slow through the corners that you're not really ready to react to that. So I think something happened along the lines of him overslowing for a corner and a prototype being like, why are you parked here? And not being able to avoid.
Yeah.
But I mean, after 24 hours, everybody's pretty cooked, and you're just trying to make it to the end, and that stuff happens. I mean, it was an emphatic victory when the 5 of us crossed the line.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it's always fun. I love team racing. Way more than I like driving individually, because there's just like an added element. You're all kind of operating the same car towards a common goal, and you spend a lot of time in ARL, especially. You've raced these guys hundreds of times, and you know them so well, and there's that rivalry there. But then it's totally different to come together and work with each other towards a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Everything from setups to helping each other find pace to like looking at each other's telemetry. It's fun to have that camaraderie, and then you go back to being rivals again the next time you race them. So
Yeah, we got our in GT7 our 2 hours of Daytona this weekend.
that'll be a fun one.
Yeah, I'm trying out LMP for the first time.
Watch out for the closing speeds.
Yeah.
It's the one thing, probably the most difficult part of it. The pace at which you come up on the slower markers sometimes catches, I know, myself by surprise. Because I've raced LMP2s. This weekend was actually my first time in a GT3 car in a endurance that has prototypes. Like I've run the GT3s at Spa 24 and Bathurst, but never done like Daytona 24. I've done 4 of them all in GT cars, so in the prototype. So um, it's difficult to move when they catch you by surprise with their slow antics and wide body.
What is Adrian doing?
He's kind of menacing Saba here.
Right?
Saba's kind of just doing weird stuff too. I wonder if this is a
Mind
prelude
games.
to what we're gonna
Right?
see. It's lucky. I don't think they can hit each other in this phase. I think the
Right.
cars will ghost
Some
into
ghost
each
up.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if this was an actual race, that could cause a massive pileup because Saba's
Mm-hmm.
overslowing and Adrian's passing him. Like Kevin's inside Saba's bumper. Oh, is he gonna try to slow? Oh, he's creeping up and then he's flying ahead. This is interesting tactic here. I'm wondering if he's gonna try to hit the throttle super early and
Or is he just trying to
get
warm
Adrian
up
off the
his
line.
tires? Like speeding up, dragging the brake, getting some heat.
Yeah, getting the heat from the brake rotors into the rim of the tire is the best way to heat the tire evenly. But I mean, this is taking it to the extreme. If this was a normal race, it'd be dangerous driving.
Right.
You're not allowed to spike the brakes like that when there's
Oh.
a whole field of cars trying to follow you. I think people behind are starting to get kind of concerned here.
Yeah, right?
They don't know what to think.
Who's our driver to watch on the start?
I think we got to watch the leaders just because, I mean, our gold leaders are so close.
Right.
They're the closest on track. They're 1-2. And if something does happen into turn 1, I mean, that could change the entire face of that gold championship. So,
Oh.
whoa.
Okay.
What is happening?
I don't know.
This
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand. I mean, they've got to start filing up here pretty soon, eh?
Yeah,
I guess
it
they are
looks like
now.
it. Yeah. See a lot of cars ghosting through each other.
Yeah. Adrian going way to the outside here. Very interesting. Let's see how this goes. Oh, he might have got a little jump there. He's waiting. Really waiting till the last possible moment here.
All right.
Green light. Give it all you got.
And there's the green.
See who gets to jump in the
And
2-1.
quick right-hander to start. And has, yeah, Adrian fallen back just a little bit. Oh, let's see what we have here. This is Maggots and Beckett's a tough complex to get through side by side. Oh, Turkey
And then
has been collected. Oh, gotta be safe with those rejoins, Turkey. Did well to keep it out. But he's going to be lacking a little bit of grip from those tires. Spectre, I think, way out wide in the back.
They're all shuffling around. See what Walker does on Roman.
Oh, he's going to go right up the inside, it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Roman doing well to keep it clean there.
Yep.
Nice side-by-side battle. Menezes is really trying to close on Saba, and it looks like Correa's lost third place to Ciclo already.
Wow.
So that's a disappointing start. It's only 1/10 back, but we know that gap can be improved pretty quickly here. 5th place for Alarcon. That's a great spot. Highest rookie up there by far. He's improved a lot over this series.
Mm-hmm.
He was good to start with, but Alarcon's getting a lot better as the series goes on. Roman out wide. Kind of, I think, spooked by Walker there, maybe. Walker has got that move done. Zuniga's poking around for the move.
Pretty close behind him.
Yeah, he'll start to get the grip back in those tires now.
Yeah.
It's probably shed most of the gravel from his undercarriage. Such a fun series of corners.
Right.
Saba pulling almost a second on Menezes.
Mm-hmm.
Turkey flying into that corner. A lot later on the brakes than Joe Zuniga.
Rod up in P6.
Yeah, impressive from him.
Good spot.
We'll have to ask him which he prefers, racing or the broadcast booth.
It's definitely going to be broadcasting.
Oh, yeah. He's a natural.
Yeah, him and his AI-assisted jokes.
That was one of the funniest things I've seen in my entire life. There was a couple points in that broadcast where I was actually physically crying. I was laughing so hard I couldn't breathe.
Literally no clue that he was cussing up a storm.
I don't know how he does it.
As soon as you tell him he is, what's the first word out of his mouth?
A swear word. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, with the way we usually communicate, I think you and I had actually done a fairly good job of keeping it PG up until that point.
Yeah.
For anyone that's attended an ARL after hours event, they know how our conversations usually go, and it's not as clean as we portray ourselves.
Usually pretty awful.
Oh, Walker's around.
Man, I caught that.
That's
right
a pass.
there.
Yeah, what a catch. That was nice. You're getting good at this director
I know,
stuff.
right? Proud of me.
let's see what we have here. Perot, 7th place. That's a good spot for him to be. And where's White to him in class? 4th. So first to 4th.
Yep. So White's currently 4th in class, is what you're saying.
Yes, and we'll
Behind
see.
Peppers and Reynolds. So White's
If
trying to
it
get
finished
past
that
Reynolds.
way,
Yeah.
it's 25 points for first and down to 12 points for 4th.
Mm-hmm.
So White at this point would lose the championship. He needs to try to at least make it up to 3rd. If he does, Turkey's around. Oh no!
That is a bad spot
Right in the
to
middle
be.
of the track.
Oh, there's another.
Oh, and someone else is spun. Is that 81? I think Caraballo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad spot to be too. Ah, that's tough. Man, Turkey will rue the day.
Yes.
He ruined his championship in the first 10 minutes.
He'll rue the day that we watched him during a race.
Hey, we've been nothing but fair.
Okay. Like, we didn't spin the car.
No, he did that all on his own.
Right?
Is it the 808 car of Watson in the pits?
Yep.
Interesting. So it must have been some damage. We didn't see that.
Right.
So I wonder if he hit someone kind of hard without sending anyone off track, because we would have seen the... I mean, unless he was in that incident, was collected into Caraballo or Turkey.
Possibly.
It's where we would need an instant replay function. That would be very nice.
I mean, there is, but sort of.
Oh, it involves a lot of silliness.
Yeah,
and then we'll miss like 10 minutes of the race trying to figure out the replay.
Yeah.
It's better just to live in the moment. Live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, love, huh?
That's what I'm going with.
I thought it was eat, pray, love.
I mean, that's pretty good too.
Yeah. Or,
Eat, sleep, shit.
In Medel's case, it's feet, pray, love.
Oh, that's just foul. A cold chill ran down my spine when you said his name. I bet he's watching right now.
I hope so. Hi, Fred.
Somewhere in New York City. Sleepless in New York.
Just imagine all the trouble he can get into there.
Yeah, he's going to end up on Law & Order Special Victims Unit, dude.
Like, what do you think he gets up to at night in New York City?
I don't want to hazard a guess. Nefarious activities. Lewd and lascivious behavior. Zuniga up to 10th with a couple of spinners that we've seen so far.
Gross.
Hey, we just finished talking about Fred, and you're going to call out spinners? Come on.
You had the same thought I did when you said it. Just shut up.
I had the thought before I said it. There was intent there. We're just keeping up the tradition of me trying to get you to bite on things. Galliano showing well in his debut.
Yeah.
This little pack of cars is a fun watch. Perot's got to really try to get separation and get as far away from White as he can. There's a little gap to Roman, and then White's kind of in the posse behind that. But if Perot can pull away a little bit, that would be a great move for him right now. It's all sort of just packed into a little group here. There's White in the background just coming onto Wellington Straight. Oh, he's going for it on Reynolds.
Wow.
That's a bold move. But it's easy to fight back here. So you get this wide track and then the inside line for that outside line for the next corner. He's going to have to try a switch back here. Maybe try to get him on power out of it, and he can't. Now this next one's super, super fast corner. So not really much hope, but then maybe through Maggots and Beckett's he can try something. Got a much cleaner line there. Reynolds kind of fighting the car. Good old Kurt. Now Galliano putting the heat on Peppers. Oh. Well wide there. Anthony's still fighting in the background there with Reynolds. Oh, and across the grass. It's a tight line. Oh, Zuniga here. He's going to try to take the outside line. This will set him up for the next corner inside, but he can't get it. He's going to try to harass him on a switchback here. No, he can't do it. Too far back. Losing time now is White to Reynolds. Car 21, yellow flag. That's Vergara. Just before the Wellington Straight. Looked like he had a little lazy spin there. Kind of fighting the car.
Nice gap for Saturday.
Yeah, Menezes keeping him honest, but not really closing.
Maintaining at 1.4.
And now we've seen things get spicy in the pits with these guys too.
Right.
Different strategies, and maybe a well-timed pit stop either way can help decide things. So we'll see if one of them decides to hop into the pits earlier, or if maybe it comes down to on track. It's always easier to be the following car than the leading car, though.
Right.
The leader has all the pressure on them. He's the one that generally gets forced into a mistake. Zuniga against the rookie Galliano. Maybe he just doesn't have the book on him like he does for some of the other drivers, right? New guys are always hazardous. You don't really know what their driving style is.
Into that corner, you know?
Yeah.
Pushed Zuniga wide.
I'm trying to hound him here. This is turning out to be a great battle for 10th, 9th, and 10th. He's right in the slipstream. Oh, little correction there from Galliano might be the difference. Taking a very shallow entry. It's just like the Suzuka S's where A mistake in the start can compound to a very poor line by the end of those 4 or 5 corners. It's one of those where you're calculating every corner for max effectiveness and each one how they flow into the other. Adrian's brought the gap down by a tenth and then 1.3 up front. Really tight racing from 8th to 11th. We're sort of in the middle of this pack right now. Pro, Peppers, Galliano, Zuniga, and Roman. And did Reynolds have an issue? Yeah, Reynolds has fallen way back. Kurt's down in 22nd. No damage on the car.
Huh.
I didn't see anything. I might be oblivious, but... So that's a promotion for White. That's a 1-spot promotion. That'll help him in his chances for maintaining the victory in the silver class. We'll have to look into any wrongdoing by the series organizer. See if there was any malfeasance on his part to acquire that position. Walker not really troubling him at 7 seconds behind. So he's got a nice little gap behind. Doesn't look like he'll give that up unless there's a mistake.
Let's check in on Turkey.
Down in 17th. That is a tough day. Started 10th, I think.
Correct.
Man. And now, importantly, he's 5th in class? That won't do.
3. Yeah, there's 4 ahead of him. 6.
Yeah, that's a tough day. And now he looks like he's getting harassed by Stevens. So this could go from bad to worse for Turkey. If you look closely, you can see him hammering his steering wheel. Zuniga's still hounding Galliano. This has been a good fight. Oh, will he now? And the switchback, that could be nice.
Oh, that was close.
A day late and a dollar short, I think.
Oh.
Oh no! Galliano. Oh. Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
And did that pick up Turkey as well? Did Turkey have another incident there? No, it's not Turkey. Oh, or is it? No, it's a 77 car. So that was the other new driver, I think, maybe. Or that was Galliano.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thought I saw 27 in there. I'm just so used to Turkey being the cause of the incident.
Just blame him for everything, right?
Yeah. If there's an incident on track, probably Turkey. And Joe's going to stay out with the damage.
He's the pride of Maple right now.
Yeah, but crucially, he is only 1 place behind Rod.
Right.
And as we mentioned, Rod and Zuniga are the only 2 for their team, or only 1 driver for each of their 2 teams that are participating. So if he loses a spot to Roman behind, that would be a bit of a worry for the team result. But because Moby Phillips and Kevin Correa are not here, don't have to worry too much. Roman picked up a bit, I think, in that too. And it it does look like Anthony's got by, so that's bad news for Perot. That couldn't have turned out any worse for Perot. Wasn't involved, but White gets by. Makes up a couple spots. Now he's within striking distance.
So how far off from Perot is he right now?
Now about 7 seconds. 7, 8 seconds.
Yeah. So, 7 seconds.
And crucially, he's not really got much competition from behind. Walker's 7 seconds back from him, and then Con another 2 seconds back from him. So there's not really much chasing him. Perot would have been hoping that a few cars kept a buffer there to keep White maybe down 4th or 5th place in silver, but we've seen a couple silvers already have issues. If Peppers gets Perot, that'll go from bad to worse for Perot.
Right.
Then it'll be a 2-3, and he's lost very, very handedly at that point.
It's keeping him close. Less than a second behind him.
He's keeping him honest. One of the closest on track, other than Correa and Roman. Our pit window should be open in about 3.5 minutes. Whoa, Zuniga way out wide in the background there. This is a nice little battle for the final podium spot. I've been keeping one eye on that battle at the top, and at one point Saba had a 2.3 second advantage, now back to under 2 seconds. Correa making the move. Whoa, that's close.
A little door rubbing.
Yeah, Chubb rubbing.
Yeah.
A long-standing tradition in ARL. Rubbing Chubby.
Chubb and Rub.
I wonder if they've been shown these streams.
I don't know.
Rub and Chubb are legendary drivers. Brothers, I think.
Friends of Turkey, by the way.
Associates, one might say. Wow. Let's see what Correa can do here. It's one of the tightest braking events on the track coming up here. And he doesn't try it. Interesting. Maybe just trying to coax him into a mistake, making him defend free air.
Were you expecting Pig to go deep there, or?
Oh, I've had this conversation with Pig recently, is that he needs to be more aggressive.
Right.
Yeah, we mentioned it in one of the race broadcasts, and he admitted that he does need to be a little bit more aggressive, a little more killer instinct to get the job done. Yeah. So we'll see if maybe he remembers
just stick
that pep talk.
See what happens,
I mean, at some point you have to. Like, I'm not saying make a dangerous move and take yourself and the other guy out, but at a certain point you do kind of need to show a little,
muscle.
Gusto. Do something. I think we were talking about earlier being a new driver in a championship. New drivers, I think, are always guilty of that. Is when you first start out, you're really worried about how you impact other drivers and being seen in a certain way because they don't have a book on you. So if you wreck 3 times in your first 3 races, everyone's going to think that's the kind of driver you are. So newer drivers tend to be a little bit more courteous, I'll say.
Right.
But then as you get racing, okay, this guy's going to give me this much space. Even in our commentary booth last week, like I know I can go wheel to wheel with you, but I don't go wheel to wheel with Rod. Rod will kill you. You know?
Last on the brakes.
Yeah, yeah. Um, you know, you just kind of get used to, okay, like I can
Window is open.
drive a certain way with this guy versus this guy. I've got to make a more decisive move.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, Kevin's just, he doesn't have that killer instinct in a lot of races where he needs to just get it done. Like, screw being polite at a certain point. And he is a very polite guy, so.
Oh, he's a real sweetheart.
Hey, he's like one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And it shows. He's also super fast, but then he gets stuck behind Ciclo for 5 laps.
All right.
Not that Ciclo's slow, but
Right.
I mean, he's been hounding him here, and he's just not being, he's not showing that bite.
Yeah.
So who do we have now? We have the 808 car of Watson. And is that a 12 car?
Spectre.
There's Spectre. He's not on our spotter guide either. Oh wait, he's also listed at 19 on the spotter guide. That's what happened.
Oh, it's 12 here today.
Yeah, I think it's mixed up because Zuniga is 19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's publishing error in the spotter guide.
You can blame me.
I just blame you by default, usually.
I blame Turkey.
Or actually, I blame Turkey by default. And then if he's not around. Again, just not forcing the issue. You're not going to get by like that.
Hammer down.
It's one of the closest he's been. Will one of them dive into the pits? Try the undercut.
I think being this close, that would be the strategy. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Try to make it through in the pit lane. Gap 2/10. Declo is defending really well. He's not giving him much, but see on exit. A long straight, so a good exit here can be a huge difference. Still nothing. Oh. Or maybe he wanted to do something.
right?
That looked like an awkward encounter.
Well, most encounters with Pig are awkward.
Oh, that's mean. We just talked about how nice he is. Look at you. Zuniga coming out of the pits now. So that pit stop will probably have cleared his damage. The 77 car of Galliano's still in the pits. He's probably clearing damage. Looks like Rod has just pitted. The 24 car of Peppers is in. Correa still getting frustrated by Cicolo. Feel like we're going to say that another 50 times. And will we see a pit stop on this lap, perhaps? They only have 5.5 minutes left to pit. Man, this is close.
Mhm.
Again with the exit. Does get the car rotated nicely there. He's a little further back, I think, than he has been at other points. Ooh, a little clumsy with the back marker there.
That's
Ooh,
close.
that was really close.
Mhm.
And Spectre, I think, did it say just? No, Turkey stop go 30 seconds.
Oh,
Turkey,
stop and go.
this guy, what
What did he
happened?
do?
Speeding in the pit lane.
Huh?
Oh no.
For shame. Oh, Saba's.
And he's not helping his cause here. He has taken a punt on the championship. And man, too. Wow.
Oh man.
You'd think oh man. You'd think this late in the series they'd have gotten their pit stops under control.
Right.
Disappointed.
So you have to serve that immediately.
You have 3 laps, but we've seen who was it in the first race
Hatcher.
that got a disqualification? That was Hatcher. You're right. Yeah, we've seen a disqualification already by the stewards in this series for failing to do it. I usually just take it right away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's better to clear it and just get on with it. I imagine other people have other ideas, but
What happened with Ciclo?
pitted, I think. Yeah, he's got the green bar. So
Okay.
he's pitted. So he took
First.
the undercut. And,
Right.
whoa, Correa nearly off track.
Let's see what's that.
Yeah, that was probably a sketchy moment.
All right. That was a proud moment. 7.8 to Adrian.
We have a 21 car, that's Vergara. I don't know if he's like stuck in the pit lane, but he keeps glitching. Okay, he might have just been entering pits, but his transponder was doing some weird glitchy stuff. And Zierlein with a stop go 30-second as well.
Yeah.
So maybe this is a more challenging pit lane than I'm giving them credit for. That's 3 stop go penalties. Turkey has taken his. Correa's in for his stop now. Will Menezes come in? That is the question.
Did we get another one?
At
So,
car 25.
Stevens got to stop and go also.
Wow, that's a lot. So Zierlein is off the track at Maggots and Beckett's too, so that's been a tough series of incidents for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's just got himself underway now. He hasn't any damage, but
That stop and go is not going to help.
Man.
these matters.
yeah, we get stop and goes up and down the grid here. This is certainly throwing a wrench into a few plans today. Oh man.
Correa's out. Let's see where he blends with Ciclo.
Yeah, where is Menezes? I think he just dove into pit lane now. So he's only got a minute and a half to go. Or no, he's still on track. He's just entering the Wellington Straight. So he'll pit at the last possible moment, Adrian will.
Number 7 stop.
Wow.
Cleared.
So Correa got the move done on Ciclo in the pits, but not by much.
Right.
And Ciclo is very not happy about it. He is harassing him. See, and this is exactly, that's what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he went for the gap. You know, not in a dirty way, but that's... Oh, and he nearly spun it. Well, he won't be happy about that.
Good save.
Yeah.
Because that car was going around.
Yeah, he definitely saved that one.
Yeah, if he put on the throttle at all.
And Adrian is in. now for his stop. Saba is coming onto the Wellington straight now, while Adrian just stopped. And no cars in Saba's way. We'll see when he gets going here. This will be close, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think Saba will
window
still
is
have it,
closing
but
now.
not by much. Just seeing the pit window close now. Coming onto that last stretch. Oh, wow. Meza's not moving yet. There he goes. And Saba's through.
Yeah. There's Adrian
So
going out.
maybe not the fastest laps for Menezes coming in,
All right.
because that's now a pretty substantial gap. That just looks like 4 seconds, 5 seconds
All right.
from what I can see on the track map that we have.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna say 50 until we see them cross this first sector line. So Saba's through, and Menezes is now 4.5. So that's pretty close. Oh, Turkey. Poor guy. It all started out so promising for Turkey.
Sure did.
Whoa.
Close
Cone going into the stratosphere there.
That C-Club
Tell-
launched it?
I think so, yeah.
Oh.
Tell the fans to duck. Cone coming in there like a missile.
With a cone.
I wonder if he's a relative of Alarcon. Ciclo really pushing Pig now. And car number 4, that's King off.
That sounds dirty.
He's
Pushing
pushing
Pig.
in his rear end.
Pushing Pig.
This is going to be a close battle, I think, all the way through the rest of this race. Two are so close.
Seems like our closest battle we have.
Yeah.
Everyone else is gapped pretty well.
Ooh. So White and Perot now 2-3. Peppers did get that place from Perot.
Okay.
So if that stands, that's Perot's championship bid finished.
He's probably falling in behind Peppers.
Yep. Yeah, that's going to be a convincing win for White in that silver category if this stands. Not much hope unless something major happens to White. Because even if Perot gets that place back, he still wouldn't win it.
Mm-hmm.
He would need White to fall back behind Walker and Kahn. And then, I mean, yeah, that was a nice one. There's not really much point updating the AM class as we have Turkey's shocking result staring us in the face in that category. And then 6.2 seconds for Saba over Menezes. So all of the second place bids, it looks like, are coming up empty.
Boy Rod up in 5th place.
Yeah, it's a good result for him.
And now, is there a reason why it says Peppers plus 1 lap? Is he actually
It's
lap
doing
down?
that thing where the leaders cross the line and now it's cycling 1 lap
Oh.
down to everybody that needs to cross the line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it always does that and messes with the timing charts. Now it'll pass to Perot and down to White. We were talking earlier about, tracks throwing up good racing. Part of the problem with the longer tracks like this one is that people get spaced out.
Yeah.
You get a lot of larger gaps in between people that you don't get on the smaller courses. And we're starting to see that play out. Other than these two that have been like conjoined twins from the start of the race onwards, not really much going on. Caraballo and Dinosauro less than a second apart, but I think that's the only other close battle on our screens here.
Well, then let's take a look. Let's hop in on this battle for 16th.
Good result for Dinosauro, actually.
Right.
He's if he holds off Caraballo, that'll be a podium in AM.
16th, yeah.
Honestly, good for Nick Spector, too. That second spot in the AM class is looking good on him. Lamb King just had another off.
Did he?
Yeah, he's slow on the back straight. When he's slow because he's not on the track. And Lamb King's off again. He spun it. Stowe corner. And he's parked it. Attempt to rejoin here. He's got a little bit of space.
Seems to be a common thing during these races.
Little spins?
Yeah, little spins. I'm just, well, you see what Lamb King, he gives leaders a wide berth going through and ends up taking himself
sometimes, out. Yeah, sometimes too wide, and then he's outside the track. I'm going to say we got a whole grid full of spinners this series. Cicolo 3/10 and gaining. Is this his opportunity? We've seen this reversed about 20 minutes ago. And Cicolo, wide berth by Pig. Pig's got to try to keep him a little further to the middle there. He's going to have that inside line, but Cicolo will get the power down first. Oh, that was wide. That's a good battle. Cicolo all the way off the track. So well defended by Pig.
Right.
It's the killer instinct that we were talking about, though. Cicolo's at least going for it. Now, you're never going to get the move done if you sit behind him, but if you force the issue a little bit, there's a chance that, because,
he'll make a mistake.
I would say Correa went too deep in on the first corner and actually gave Cicolo more of an opportunity than maybe he could have. If Correa was a little more shallow on his exit of that first corner and kept Cicolo more to like the middle outside of the track, he wouldn't have had such a clean entry to the second corner. And it actually probably would have benefited Correa more, but just because that next corner was a right-hander, he was able to, get a bit of a hold on it, and Ciclo had to back out.
Right.
Galliano now 0.2 behind Caraballo. So there's a fight for the rookie in his first race. Let's see. Oh, and a switchback almost. He's looking for it.
Yeah. He's not content to sit behind him. And with Saba bearing down.
Yeah, he's going to be trying to clear these lapped markers as quickly as he can, because every second is massive right now with Menezes behind.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to see. Okay, so Menezes is just entering Meggetts and Beckett's now. Dinosauro going to hold up Saba a little bit there. Just a little bit of a mistake, I think, from Dinosauro made Saba kind of hesitate a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then sort of Galliano's the wild card here. We've never seen him race before, so we don't know how he's going to hold up to a lapping incident.
How he handles a blue flag.
Yeah, every driver is different.
Right.
We've seen every extreme in this series so far, from diving out of the way and
Wow.
on cue.
Yeah.
Diving out of the way.
Damn.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
That is a line, I guess you can take.
Yeah, his tires are going to be dirty now.
Yeah.
That's the problem with going off track to let somebody by is,
Is he on the service road?
Yeah, that comes back on like you've seen after a while, but his tires are cooked. Yeah, he's not going to have much traction now for quite a bit. That's allowed Adrian through.
Yeah.
Interchangeably known as Adrian and Menezes.
Menezes.
Hey, you got it.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Only took me 6 rounds.
Hey, they don't remember all of them, just the last one. Adrian through now. Gap's probably still about 4 or 5 seconds up front. I can't see it at the moment.
Yeah,
4.1. And Saba's just cleared Caraballo. And looked like he dipped a wheel off there. Saba doesn't want to make any mistakes here. He does have the fastest lap, I believe, still. So he will win as long as he has the fastest lap, if things stay the way they are. If things stay the way they are, he'll win either way. But if Menezes is able to get that first place and Saba keeps the fastest lap, he will win. Surprisingly clean, though. Not as many incidents as I thought there'd be on the longer circuit. And this lap here is going to see Menezes close on Caraballo, so we'll see how that goes. Ciclo falling back of Correa. There's Turkey.
There he is. 19th.
Boy, what could have been for Turkey today?
Yeah, it's so much potential going into the race.
Yeah, we picked him a few times as, a potential to do well. And yeah, I told you early in the series, as a betting man, it's hard to put money on Turkey.
I thought this was his race.
It's the story of his career. Every race you think it's his race. Turns out, wasn't.
Always a bridesmaid.
Poor guy.
So if he finishes in this position, how far does that put him back in the championship?
He will go to, let's see, he is in 6th now?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, 6th place from 1st. Wow. Yeah, he will fall 17 points back of Alarcon. Or he will lose 17 points in this one.
Wow.
And let's see, he will, yeah, he's already got a 2-point deficit, so he'd be 19 back without fastest lap consideration. Unfortunately, we can only see the fastest lap, I think, in, well, I don't know if they give fastest lap for each division. I probably should have asked the organizer that.
I think each class gets a fast lap.
Yeah, we can only see the fastest overall, so we don't exactly know who has the fastest lap in each class, but and I mean the 3rd place in that is Zierlein, but he's 30 points back of Turkey and also behind Turkey in the race, so won't be a factor in the championship from that side. So Turkey secured a 2nd place either way, but just the deficit to 1st that can be decided now.
I see. Needs to clear back.
Menezes is slowly making his way up.
3.6.
Lamb King is stopped again out of Maggots and Beckett's. Rejoining where the leaders are. It's one way to finish a series. Being a victim of that unsafe rejoin just this weekend has made me a little hyper vigilant. A 119 car of Dinosauro looks to have some kind of incident in Maggots and Beckett's. I think Dinosauro's had some form of a spin. It's getting late in the race. Maybe
a spinner.
You know, yeah, little firecracker.
It's a nice callback for you.
Yeah, it's late in the race. Maybe concentration is starting to suffer a little bit for some of the drivers, especially that series of corners. Super fast, super flowing, easy to let the back end step out a bit.
7 minutes left.
Perot has got back by Peppers at some point, so he has reclaimed 1st, but as mentioned, it won't be enough. And Lamb King is stopped again.
No.
He was around the loop into Aintree. We should just have a lamb cam.
Lamb cam.
In the top right. Picture-in-picture lamb cam.
We get some good highlights.
Wasn't it before we had king things? Yeah. So, lamb cam, king thing. We need that buzzer that goes boo, 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 boo. Pops up with king things.
This just stands for king things.
Breaking news.
We go live now to the lamb cam. Oh no.
Oh, lamb cam picked up some action.
Oh no.
Oh damn, it's the lamb cam.
Hashtag king things.
Yeah, just king things. Maggots and Beckett's has been a tough series of corners today for a lot of drivers. White just hounding Peppers. Now, if Peppers can take White out,
That would be something,
that
right?
could decide the championship.
It's close.
Yeah, definitely closing the door on him.
Mm-hmm.
Peppers is going to fight this. He's a feisty guy, this Peppers.
It's tough to pounce on Peppers.
Yeah, he's pounce and bounce up and down on the Pepper. Just under 4.5 minutes left in the race.
2 seconds.
Everybody's kind of got some breathing room.
Mm-hmm.
I think the leader's coming up on Watts in the 808 car through Maggots and Beckett, so you never know, could lose a little time with a clumsy overtake if it happens. Looks like he's got him on the straight. They did seem to go side by side near that last part of Maggots and Beckett's, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, in specifically Beckett's. A 3.1 second gap to the lead for Menezes.
Good job.
I'm proud of myself.
Mm-hmm. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you. It's the first time anyone's ever said that to me. White's got a boring livery.
Right? Well, they're
He's
all
got to
pretty
show a
boring.
little bit more. Yeah,
I mean,
that is
it's
fair.
just silver.
Well, we haven't bullied White enough.
No. At least Pig's got something going on.
Yeah, that hexagonal pattern
Mm-hmm.
or something of that nature.
Boring.
Yeah, he's got a car that looks like something Moby would design.
With a Cicalo?
Yeah. Doesn't that look like something Moby would drive?
That's a fullness car if I ever saw one.
True. That's a good shout. Yeah, fullness with the blue and yellow. Blue and gold in Ciclo's case, but yeah, fullness could probably file a lawsuit about that.
Copyright claim, yeah.
Yeah. If he was number 23, there'd be no question. The camo's always nice, but
Yeah.
there's a few cars that use it. Con, I think, is another. Peppers, lacks imagination. Lamb King, beautiful, beautiful car.
Let's check the
The
lamb
blue
cam.
and the lamb cam. That
lamb camo.
blue and white camo.
Yeah,
That looks good.
it's classic.
King thinks. What about Man? What's his car looking like?
Oh,
That's another fullness car
Yep.
for Mrs. Man.
Oh man.
You ever seen Scary Movie?
No.
Oh, look up the Mrs. Man scene.
Yeah. What's Shane Stevens got? That's
Boring.
Not too bad.
That's, I don't know. I guess it's better than some we've seen. Zerline is like off-brand McLaren. He's the Christmas car for Dinosauro.
And Reynolds is blue.
Okay,
Yeah,
the leader is on the
this is
final
like
lap.
the same
Give
as
it all you
White's. Turkey, not bad.
I think so.
Galliano for a newcomer, quite nice. I like Caraballo's car.
Yeah, it's a good looking ride.
The light blue with the white is a crisp look. I don't know what Rexall is. Up here it's a pharmacy.
I think it's a warning.
A warning?
Yeah, he wrecks all.
Why, he's on pills? Oh, okay. I've recently robbed a pharmacy and I'm willing to trade paint. Oh, and we are at the white flag now, so nearing the end of the race for our leader. Saba will claim the championship here if he doesn't loop it before the final corner. Coming up on fullness number 2. Yeah, after all the drama between Saba and Menezes throughout the series, I can't help but feel we just were robbed of some high drama.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I figured there'd be some fireworks, but
at least some door-to-door
I don't think it was ever in doubt. Yeah. It kind of ended with a whimper instead of a bang. And the way those two were fighting, some people will hope they would just bang already.
Just get a room.
Gonna attend couples therapy after this race.
The leader has finished the race.
The two teammates, and congratulations for the win by Saba.
Yeah. Adrian P2.
Yeah. Correa now by 3 seconds, so he pulled a gap on Cicalo at the end. He'll come home to take the podium. Cicalo in 4th. Our man, Rod the Bod.
Famous from the Rodcast.
Yes. Which isn't a euphemism. It's not like the Christian Horner Rodcast. And White will come home to after Perot to claim the championship in silver.
Did I tell you I got in trouble for making fun of Christian Horner's wife?
I saw that the other day. Yeah. It's a strict Discord over there. Run by Dan.
It's because I called her Slutty Spice.
I don't know. I don't see the problem.
Yeah.
Alarcon will come home to win the AM class with his rival Flamboyant Turkey already finished, laps down. Again, ends with a whimper, but Zuniga now crossed the line for 11th, and just Roman and Khan, I think, left to finish.
Right.
And a couple there at the back.
Oh. Lamb Cam.
Galliano? Or is that the other new driver? Oh, it's Mrs. Man.
Man Cam.
Man Cam. Last man standing. All right, do you want to give us our final race rundown of the season and perhaps our careers?
So tonight's winner, Saba, followed by Adrian and Kevin Correa. Then we have Ciclo P4, Rodriguez rounding out the top 5, Perot P6, Anthony P7, Peppers P8, Alarcion P9, Walker P10. That rounds out our top 10, followed by Zuniga, Roman, Khan, Spector, Watson, Carabello, Galliano, Turkey, Reynolds, Dinosaur, Zerline, Shane Stevens, Vergara, Mancam, and hashtag King Things.
King Things to round us out. Well, it's been fun.
Yeah, good job, everyone.
Yeah. Great job to the drivers. Excellent season. Lots of amazing performances throughout, especially considering it was a holiday stopgap season. A lot of fun racing.
Excellent job to the booth.
Oh, the booth. The booth was where it was at. The booth carried the team.
I think so.
When the chips were down and the racing was dull, the booth was on it.
We were on point the whole season.
Oh yeah, yeah. And thank you to Rod as well for filling in for a race in the booth.
We miss you.
It was tight. It was packed. We were sweaty. We were shoulder to shoulder, but it worked out.
Shoulder to shoulder, butt to butt.
Yeah, nuts to butts. To stand in the line. It was there was smoke everywhere because of Rod.
All right. Well, good night,
That was
everyone.
fun.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks
Maybe-
everyone for joining us.
Maybe
It's been a
we'll
pleasure to bring all the races to the people.
Yes. Maybe we'll see you next season. Who knows?
Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
Strong chance on the latter.
Like,
Like
we
and
get
subscribe
canceled
for
and
no
that-
more of this
yeah.
content. If you hated it, like and
Yeah.
subscribe so that
If
we
you
know that
really
we shouldn't
enjoyed
do
it,
this.
just smash that like button.
Hit it twice if you're having a great time.
Don't get my hopes up. Because you'll get the notification, oh, someone liked your video. And then it'll disappear.
And then you'll go and the number will be 0 still.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a sad feeling.
Yeah.
Someone accidentally liked
Hit the
me.
like button. Someone accidentally thumbs up me.
Oh, I love it. Well,
Uh,
thank you, Dave. It's been
yep.
fun.
It's
been a pleasure.
All right.
Have a good night,
night,
everyone.